Welcome to scenario 3. Thank you for still being here with me. I know just a lot of slides get super tiresome and boring at times, but it is all valuable information and it's easiest to demonstrate it in the form of a presentation. Otherwise, it gets too confusing if we're going through accounts and stuff. So this is the best and clearest way to look at it. And scenario 3 is for any of those budgets over $5,000 a month. And really, as you probably noticed already, the theme here is just building on the previous scenario. And that's exactly what's going on here as well. We're kind of keeping scenario 1. We tacked on standard shopping and maybe a little bit of YouTube into scenario 2. And now we're going to build on top of that further by incorporating cold search or generic search, however you want to call it. I probably should have written this better because I put cold everywhere and it's not that clear. Cold, I mean people who are still in the consideration phase. So in-market search is what we're looking for here. And by creating a search campaign which focuses on delivering spend across our best priority or highest margin products, it does two things. It steers the PMAX campaign, an underlying theme, and makes it easier to scale and increases our results page dominance. So it's helping out that standard shopping and PMAX feed campaigns, because when someone searches for product A, they've got your number one on the feed, and then immediately below that, your number one in the search results as well. So that on-screen dominance, we talk about it a lot in search campaigns, goes a long way. However, search campaigns cost a lot more. The CPCs tend to be much higher. So this can come at the expense of efficiency and budget. I mean, that's not always the case in all categories, in all markets, in all product types, but as a general rule of thumb, you tend to see the higher CPCs in the search results. And obviously, we're looking at e-com focused businesses here. So that's a real bonus that you have, that the feed is slightly cheaper. So this is a bit of a luxury, but again, it establishes that dominance. If there's a particular category or segment that you want your business to absolutely dominate, then this is a great way of doing that. And in terms of the rest of the campaigns that we're looking at, again, it's the same brand search, the same standard shopping, and the same with our Performance Max campaigns as well. Also YouTube, but it doesn't fit on the slide, so it's not there. But it is also one that we want to be looking at this kind of level of spend. And in terms of account structure, it looks like this. So again, like we said, it's just a build on the previous scenario. But the priority here is the new cold search line. And it's really important that we get that generic search line structured correctly. We want to be using high intent keywords arranged into keyword themes. Now remember, this is a generic campaign, so no brand, no competitor here. And the aim here is to be present when your shopping ad is also present to maximize page dominance. And again, that word, steer the Performance Max campaigns again. So keyword themes for generic campaigns, super important. You get it right and you do it right. If you don't know what it is, go back to level 2. We've got a module on keyword themes and how to set them up and how to structure them. So go and watch that if you haven't. And for brand search, everything's exactly the same as all the other scenarios. We want to keep it manual. We want to keep it brand only. For standard shopping, we want it split by products. We want it manual. For PMAX, we want to split by products as well, or whatever sort of asset group split works best for you. You can here go for full build if you want. Just know it may have an impact on the amount of dynamic remarketing running, but you have to, it's one of those things, unfortunately, there's no right or wrong answer. You have to test it. And if it doesn't work and you've given it enough time, you can always revert it back, but you might have to make that sacrifice temporarily. And again, YouTube remarketing we spoke about already. This is remarketing only, even at this level of spend. If we are talking significantly higher spend here and we've maxed out all of these lines and we still can't get more conversions or scale the account anymore, then perhaps we can look at cold YouTube lines for ecom. And in terms of budget split, it looks like this. Again, I've got 5% for brand search, but just make sure you're covering off all of those searches and you've got at least 75% impression share or click share. Double check that, increase the budget if you need to, just to cover those off. It's better to be safe than sorry. Standard shopping, we're looking at about 35%. Again, that's going to be one of the main driving forces, pushing out our name to cold audiences or audiences in the consideration phase. Okay, that coupled with cold search at 20%, roughly there or thereabouts. If you see cold search or generic search is performing better, you can always increase the budget on search, but I'd imagine shopping will do better to begin with. And for search, in terms of bid strategies, we've got a lot here: manual, max clicks, max conversions, kind of whatever you want. Just think about the amount of work that you might need to put into it for something like a manual CPC. You could always go with a max clicks with a bid cap. However, I quite like at the moment a sort of max conversion value, but with like a low T ROAS put in of like 20%. It's kind of like someone optimizing your manual campaign, and it gets rid of all the crap and all the crap sort of clicks and just leaves you with the better quality. You put it, even if you put a low T ROAS, like 20%, you'll still see dwell times increase and conversions increase as well. Actually, it's really weird. Try it out if it works for you or not. And again, the usual full extensions, headlines, all of that kind of stuff. You need to be regularly updating and optimizing those cold search lines, ad copy, extensions, everything. And lastly, YouTube is exactly the same as we had it in the previous scenario. Now, you can bolt on many other different campaign types here if you want. Things like discovery. It'd be interesting now to see some of the performances come out of demand gen. That might be another one we could incorporate here. But once I've got some more concrete numbers on that, I can definitely look to update these slides and perhaps even add in another alternative account structure. So I hope these have all helped. I believe we'll be moving on to chapter 2 next, which will not be ecom anymore. So I'll see you in chapter 2.